Hi, I'm Bob Weir with my second interview since moving to Fountain Inn, South Carolina from Flower Mound, Texas, where for many years my wife Annette, the videographer, we performed video interviews of prominent people from various walks of life. A few days ago we interviewed Fountain Inn Mayor George Patrick McLear Jr. here in our home studio in Parkland Hills. My guest today is Simpsonville Mayor Paul Shewmaker. And I want to thank you, Mayor, for taking the time to come over for this.
Thank you, Bob.
And if you would, please begin by telling us something about the role of mayor in the management of Simpsonville.
So the city of Simpsonville has what's called a weak mayor form of government. And what that really means is I'm not the boss of anything. What I do is chair the city council meetings. I have one vote on council, just like the rest of council members. And beyond that, the city on a day-to-day basis is run by our city administrator, Diana Gracely.
Uh-huh. So you have a vote, and what if there's a tie vote?
So actually, the way it works in South Carolina on council, there is no such thing as a tie. A tie actually ends up being a vote against. So if we did actually have a tie, that would mean we voted down whatever was before council.
Ah, I see, okay. And how many council members are there?
We have 7 council members, including the mayor.
Uh-huh. Are all council members elected at large?
So all the council members are elected at large, but each council member must live in the ward that they are running to represent, although everybody in Simpsonville votes for every council member.
Okay, so wards are divisions of property, land throughout the area, and so if somebody is representative of, how do I understand this? If you have to live in the ward to vote, I mean to run for office, right? But then you can be voted in by everybody in Simpsonville.
That's correct.
Right, okay. And the terms are how long?
4 years. 4 years for mayor, 4 years for council members.
And are they staggered, like every year there's an election?
Yes, they are staggered. We have elections every 2 years, 3 council members every 2 years, and then the mayor runs on every other one with ward seats 1, 3, and 5.
Okay, now when and where are the council meetings held?
Council meetings are held at Simpsonville City Hall, which is 118 Northeast Main Street. We'll be having our council members there, council meetings there for probably about the next year. We're building a new city hall, and then we'll be moving over to where Simpsonville Park is. The meetings are twice a month on the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. And we always encourage the public to attend.
And are you currently running for re-election?
Yes, we have an election this fall, and I have 2 opponents in the election. The election is November the 7th.
Oh, okay. And I know your opponents are Warner Bozek and Janice Curtis.
That's correct.
Correct? Incidentally, I will be interviewing Mr. Bozek tomorrow, and he's one of your challengers, so he'll be here for his interview. How about this, the size of the Simpsonville budget? How much is that?
Our Simpsonville budget for this year is just under $24 million.
Okay, we know that the next election, by the way, all elections here are in November, like in some areas, like where we came from in Texas, the local elections are held in May, and then the others are held in November. Here, all of them are held in November.
That so happens that is the case in Simpsonville, that most elections are held in November, but not every municipality in the state does that. Some of them have them in the spring, have them in May. But the legislature is working on passing a law that would move everybody to November elections.
By the way, how many council members are running, do you know?
We have 3 council members who are running for election on November 7th.
This coming, 3 council members, okay. How about the police department? How many officers in the Simpsonville PD?
There are just over 40 police officers in the Simpsonville Police Department.
And the chief is Michael Henshaw?
Yeah, Chief Mike Henshaw, he's a wonderful chief. He has built just a great department. They're sharp looking, they're sharp in their behavior, and he is a great leader who has built a wonderful culture in our police department.
Yeah. How about the fire department? How many firefighters does Simpsonville have?
We have between 60 and 70, and I do need to make sure everybody understands that the Simpsonville Fire Department covers more than just the city limits. We cover multiple fire service districts out in the county, and so some of our fire stations are actually in the county.
Ah, so they're not all in the confines of Simpsonville borders.
That's right.
I see, okay. How did Simpsonville get its name?
So if you go back and look at the history, Simpsonville was on the stagecoach line that ran from Fountain Inn, which was a stage stop, up to Travelers Rest, which was a stage stop, and we were along that stage line. And Peter Simpson, he was a blacksmith who opened up his blacksmith shop kind of right in the center of Simpsonville. It was originally called Plain before it was incorporated, but when it was incorporated back in 1901, they decided to choose the name Simpsonville in honor of Peter Simpson.
A stagecoach stop. Wow, that's amazing. And I think Mayor McClear mentioned that there was a stagecoach stop right here in Fountain Inn.
Yes, and that would have been where people would have overnighted, would be in Fountain Inn, and then overnight again in Travelers Rest.
How about the population of Simpsonville? How large is it about?
The current estimates are right around 24,000, maybe a little bit more than that. The last official count from the census was 23,374.
All right, well, I think we've covered a lot already in a short time, and I see that the clock is moving fast, but is there anything you'd like to add before we close, or you have to talk a little bit to the people about your re-election?
Yes, absolutely. So I do want everybody to come out and vote. You need to vote for the candidate of your choice. Obviously, I believe I'm the best candidate for mayor. I think a couple of examples I'll give for that. I was just selected to be on the board for the South Carolina Association of Mayors. I'm very honored by that selection to be on the board, because in order to get there, you have to be nominated by the staff of the Municipal Association of South Carolina, and they are fantastic. They just provide a wonderful service to the municipalities in South Carolina. You have to be nominated by that staff, which is a recognition that like I say, I was very honored and humbled by that. But then to be confirmed to the board, you have to be voted in by your fellow mayors, and I believe that shows my involvement in helping things go at a state level, and recognition by my fellow mayors as being a good mayor. So I'm very proud of that one. I really think that this election for the mayor of Simpsonville is about three things: leadership, integrity, and civility. And that is what I have brought to Simpsonville Council. If you've lived here for very long, you know that there has been some history in our council meetings that in the past it used to be a must-be-there event for reporters. And we have had the last 4 years of that not being the case at all. And we run very smooth and calm council meetings, and that, I believe, comes from my leadership and ability to have all of council work together. We don't always all agree, but we always get along and have effective legislation in our city. So I'm very proud of my leadership ability.
Well, that's great. If you always all agreed, it would be something wrong.
Right.
So it's good that you have a disagreement, but you work it out. I want to thank you again, Mayor Shewmaker, for coming over for this, and I want to wish you luck in the election.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, and thank you for watching.